Yes, 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 we are back. It's another day, another episode. No professional value in these shows. Welcome back, everybody. I've missed you guys. I get a lot of calls every day from my friends, and every day somebody else is freaked out about this COVID-19 thing. Here I am. You know, I'm not just here to talk about doom and gloom only, but I feel like if we don't talk about it now, when are we going to talk about it? Later? You know what I mean? I've seen it happen before. You know, we never really talked about 9/11 because everybody got crazy and then became patriotic, and then if you hate America, if you didn't believe their story, then, so much bullshit, right? Like, I read the whole 9/11 Commission report. In the end, they say, we don't really know what happened. It was like 40 days of my life wasted just trying to hope that there'd be some transparency. You know what I mean? So now's the time to talk about this, right now, when the shit's going down, when it's happening. Kids today, they don't know about World War II or Vietnam War because no one's ever talked to them about it, right? That's just how it goes. That's why I'm here. That's why I can't just focus on the good news, because right now the fact that everybody in the world is affected means that there's no good news. I mean, there is good news, but not if you want to keep living, and not if you care about, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about today. What are we talking about today? All right, let's start with the Johns Hopkins numbers today. Once again, these are reported numbers that are going to go up. 846,000 cases worldwide, 42,000 deaths worldwide, and 169,000 people worldwide that have not been cured, but have recovered from the illness. Once again, those numbers are just the beginning. When I first started this podcast, there was 5,600 deaths, somewhere in there. And I thought, holy shit, that number's incredible. How much is it going to go up? And now we're at 42, like it's just, the numbers, it's just gone like that. And that's what I'm talking about for the people that think it's fake. Like, have you heard about Belarus? It's this Soviet country that still wants to be part of the Soviet Union, even though there's no more Soviet Union. The Belarus president's like, fuck you guys. You guys are all weak-minded people. If you're going to die, die like a man. Better to die on your feet than to succumb to the peer pressure. It's all bullshit, blah, blah, blah. They still have soccer matches. The Belarus soccer matches are the only thing to watch because they're the only thing on. So we'll be watching that number very, very, soon. I mean, I'll keep track of it. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. Not I don't like to see it, but I like to be able to, like we see it now, we'll be able to see it in a few months, we'll be able to see it in a few years. With the effects. If any of you remember 9/11, we know 20 years later what it was like. We remember it, we see the full effect of what it means to go and start a war in the wrong country. And, there's a lot of politics involved in 9/11. Don't get me started. All the Saudis did it, so we're just going to be friends with them if I go blow up Iraq. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. Even in hindsight, doesn't make any sense. Everybody that voted still doesn't make any sense. Then we just move over to Afghanistan and say, none of it makes any sense unless you consider the fact that there's money to be made. That's it. That's it. But when you see the whole thing, you get a little more perspective. With COVID-19, we're seeing the whole thing from the beginning. January 1st, no cases. February 2nd, 8 cases. Tomorrow will be April 1st in America. Lots of cases. 100,000 cases or so. I mean, talk about catching us off guard. Nobody was... Oh, wait. We've been talking for 20 years about this going on. We've had SARS before. We've had coronavirus before. We've had MERS before. Last year, in April of 2019, there was a measles outbreak. Measles, 700 cases in New York, incredible. There was a quarantine of UCLA, it was like 700 students and faculty were quarantined. That was just last April. You think that it's crazy, that it's never happened before, that how could this ever be? It happens every year, only now it's happening in a global scale. That's why it's so frightening. Okay, I'll give you an example. I don't know. What, Billie Eilish, right? They're shitty music, but it's okay if they only sell 100 CDs. But when they start winning Grammys and selling millions of CDs, and then you got to listen to it, you're like, oh my God, we have to deal with this right away so that it doesn't spread. I mean, that's how, that's how I feel. Like, it's okay when it's in one place, but then it's everywhere. It's every grocery store you go to. It's every, Do you think any bands makes a song like "This Is Gonna Be Awesome" at the CVS in about 8 years? You know, because when I listen to those songs, or I'm in the grocery store and hear a good song, I'm like, huh, I wonder if they thought about the grocery store value of their song. You know, we're all over the place today. We're just talking mad. Today is a crazy day in Los Angeles because it is like 75, 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, just a perfect, beautiful day, and everybody wants to leave their house and go out to the beach, go down to the thing. I just went driving, I drove down to get my mail, and more people than I've seen in the last few months. It's easy to stay inside when it's rainy and cold, and you're like, okay, we'll just stay inside. But today is like a beautiful day. I don't know what people are going to do. You know, the whole thing we got to do is we got to stay apart. 6 feet, not even enough. They say 20 feet should be how it should be. Another thing I noticed driving around LA, a lot of donuts in the intersections. You know, when you drive the cars in a circle and you make the skid marks, right? It's fun if you're a kid and you don't really know about life yet. Especially if you're a kid with a car that your parents bought you, because you know, if it's just an 83 Toyota, how are you going to go out there and ruin those tires? You're not. You're going to do something else. So anyway, all around this neighborhood, every intersection's just got huge donut marks now. And you hear them. And the other night I heard one over here and he goes, bang! And so I went over and the marks go right into the curb, and you can see where he hit the curb. And I just thought, you know, karma's not dead. Okay, it's still here. You want to go out and be an asshole? All of us are hurting. Everybody that sees this, everybody that I talk to, every person that I see and deal with on a daily basis, which is not a lot of people anymore, everybody's affected by this. Everybody's hurt. For those of you that think that it's not real, go look. Go look in Brooklyn and New York and Queens, where they're stacking the bodies using forklifts. Look at Spain, where they had to use an ice rink. When the morgues and the cemeteries can't handle the death rate, that's the problem that everybody's been talking about. That's where it goes. When the guy at the morgue says, hey, we can handle 1,200 bodies, and the guy's like, we got 5,000 bodies. And you're like, holy shit. You know, those mass graves they're digging in China and Iran, you can see them from space. That's how we know they're digging them. Not in China, though. There are a lot of urns. We talked about the urns, but a lot of urns in China. Like, isn't it weird that only, they say 3,000 people died, yet 10 million people are claiming they lost a loved one. So who knows what's going on in reality? Nobody knows. All right, what do we want to get into today? I want to talk some shit about Dove. Now, Dove, the soap, which you definitely should use if you're washing your hands. Any soap will work and kill this thing. Use soap, wash your hands. Dove has figured out a way to advertise and make money off it, of course. Their hashtag is wash to care. Wash to care. Show you care by washing your hands with our product. You see, Dove, they pretend to be so kind and loving. They're all about the purity. They're all about the natural woman. You're beautiful no matter what you do, and you can be you, and don't worry about it, and the world's a beautiful place. That Dove company is owned by a multinational company called Unilever. Unilever, you know it. They got the little U. It's all the brand names. It's very clever. It's very good business, very good stock. They know how to make money because they don't give a shit about people. Here's what I mean. That same Dove commercial telling you that you're a beautiful woman and you need no makeup and you're beautiful just the way you are. Dove Natural Beauty. That's lovely. That same company also owns Axe, right? Axe body spray, which is like if you're down to date rape, use our body spray, right? Which your girlfriend's mom will want to do you. I mean, if you see the commercials, they are the most foul thing. I think about my little cousin when he was about 13. His whole room just smelled like Axe and feet. And, you know, guys at school would just spray it all over themselves because they're so stinky. So when I think of Axe, is like dudes that want to fuck no matter what. No matter what's going on, no matter who it is. This chick's got a broken leg and he's like, hey, you want to fuck on the way to the hospital? Like, that's what Axe is all about. And that's the same company that owns Dove and tells you that you're beautiful no matter what. So what happens when this date rapist meets this naturally beautiful woman? Do they not, you know, get together? How does that work? I want to see the cross commercial. I want to see how it works. I don't know why I care so much about that. I guess it's just another example of how perception is reality. You think that buying this brand makes you a better person. It doesn't. You think that free-range eggs that cost $7 a dozen, which I have to buy now, you think that makes you a better, it doesn't make you a better person. Okay? What, you only like to steal eggs from Happy Chickens? You sick fuck, right? Anywhere you're gonna eat the eggs, it means you stole them from a chicken. That's it. What do you think? What? You think a happy chicken was happier? Oh, everything was good. It's like was it like some surrogate mom program where they're like, oh no, we knew that we were going to take the baby, but we paid her, so it's okay. Like, it doesn't make it right. More money doesn't make it right. You know? Now in these times, aren't you seeing what makes it right? What makes it right? You got a neighbor across the way that's old. You know, take her trash can up to her door for her on the trash day. You know, help her out. Don't go over there and talk to her because you got to maintain the 20 feet. But help some people out, man. Deliver some food. Volunteer. Read a book to somebody. I've been giving stand-up comedy performances on my front porch. If somebody walks by, I just stand up and start doing my riffs. I don't even care. Hey, coronavirus, huh? Who'd have thunk it? I guess today you're seeing the real me. It's weird. It's Big Tuesday. I just wanted to talk about Wash the Care with Dove. That made me angry. The Belarus guy is incredible that he doesn't give a fuck about his people. Brazil is the same, and I'm using a lot of foul language today. I'm sorry. They say the people that curse are usually more honest. And I say, hell yeah. The dude in Belarus is a crazy, but the guy in Brazil is even worse. He's like, we're not shutting down. We're not doing shit. Don't do shit. Go to your job. Don't be a... The drug lords in Brazil have shut their operations down and have maintained distance. They are practicing social distancing and a shutdown, lockdown formula. They've locked down the hoods they own. Like, they're doing a better job of being the government than the government. That is, what? Like, imagine if the mafia just started handing, you know what I mean? Handing out meals and masks and taking, all right, everybody, we got to calm down, you know. What would Don Vito say in the face of this pandemic? Don Vito Corleone, or Vito Andolini. You know, he had smallpox when he came to America. He had to be quarantined also. I'm just saying, the quarantine works. Don't think it doesn't. How are we going to end today? Today we're going to end on this. Today is March 31st. 1 year ago today, Nipsey Hussle was shot right here in Los Angeles, right at the store, probably by some buster-ass punk, you know, and died for no good reason. A lot of people got their own controversy. But also on this day, 25 years ago, Selena died, or was murdered on stage by one of her fans and friends. However you want to put it, 25 years ago today, 1995. Holy shit, I remember it well. And man, that was sad. Selena would have been, if you saw the halftime show at the Super Bowl this year and you saw J-Lo and Shakira, just know that Selena would have been right there with them. And maybe we wouldn't have had to see J-Lo. You know what I'm saying? Like, we might have had a decent show. But she was going to be number one. She was number one. She had so many hits. And once she crossed over into that Houston, because I'm from Palm Springs, that Houston, Tejano, El Paso, Yuma, you know, area, and then Palm Springs is part of that whole strip along the border. She started just blowing up in the early 90s, and then boom, Selena was everywhere. So if you get a chance, go listen to some Selena. In a funny side note, J-Lo played Selena in the movie, and it was actually really good. It was actually really Edward James Olmos gives a great performance as her dad. So there you go. Let's just remember Selena today, and remember that the good times are not guaranteed. Okay, we don't know how long we got. I don't know how long I got. You don't know how long you got. Okay, Selena didn't know how long she got, but she gave us something while she was here. She put something beautiful onto this earth, and now that she's gone, there's something to remember her by. You know, me working in a warehouse, slinging, you know, 45 cases of Patron every hour. That didn't make me feel like I was doing anything in my life. It made me feel like if I died, nobody would give a shit. So what? You sold the most Opus 1 in California. Who cares? Like, nobody cares about that stuff. When you're using your talents and your energy to make somebody else rich. Right? Go out there and express on your own. Give us something to remember you by that is wonderful. Okay? Not something terrible like this guy forgot to put oil in his car, and then his car blew up, and then took out a road sign. Like, we don't want to have that as a legacy. You don't want that to be your final thing. Alright guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Jazz hands, stay away from each other, wash your hands. What else can I say? That's all I got. Do 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 do.